Welcome back. We go on over to Mike Eppel, who was asking me in the commercial break if there was anything exciting going on, and I said, nope, same but different, just a different day. Good morning.
Must be Wednesday.
You know what?
Nice.
As we've said, it's Groundhog Day, but we're here. We are well.
Kinda seems like it. Yep.
We are counting our blessings. And here's what's interesting. I was reading your notes here about people still wanting to get into that housing market right now. The numbers are interesting.
Yeah, the numbers just actually in this morning from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board talking about buyer intentions. You know, prior to the pandemic, the market was just red hot. You know, you couldn't find anything to buy, and there were just buyers lined up outside the door, so to speak. Well, April saw the economic shutdown. So did that change buyer intentions? Not so much, according to the Ipsos data just in this morning. About 27% of the survey respondents likely or very likely to buy a house in the next 12 months. That was down just 4 percentage points from a year ago, which, considering the economic shockwave, isn't all that much. The younger cohort age group, 18 to 34, you're looking at 45% saying, yeah, we want to get into the housing market. And maybe they're going to get their chance because we're starting to see, in some cases, prices come down a little bit. And affordability is one of the big stumbling blocks to getting into GTA real estate right now. But at the same time, a lot of potential sellers are saying, I'm not interested in selling right now. So then you've got this issue with not enough supply again, Melanie, and does that keep prices, you know, close to where they were? So there's so many changing dynamics in the real estate market right now, you know, which is a true economic barometer, let's face it, which is, you know, propelled by job loss or growth or immigration or what have you. It's going to be really interesting to see how this works going forward, and will, again, there be structural shifts within the market from the 416 to the 905, what people are looking for. Are they looking to get out of the city, come into the city? Right. All these things. It's going to be really interesting.
And if the workplaces change, right, if people don't have to work in the city and they can stay in the suburbs and work where they live, that changes the whole dynamic, right? So
yeah, and if you have to come into the office wearing a mask, do you want to do that? Can you say, I just want to stay at home and work from the home office, what have you?
Yeah, this will all change, I'm sure, in the days and weeks ahead. Inflation data expected to be out today.
We could see prices down year to year in April because that was when the real economic shockwave hit. Gasoline prices will be down in the inflation report. But what's going to be on the rise? Was there surge pricing on items that were in big demand at the grocery store? Was there a price adjustment, supply and demand factoring? And we saw some of that when we had the U.S. inflation data last week. Yeah, the overall cost of living was down, but certain items went through the roof. So the Stats Canada data this morning is going to be really interesting when we're looking at the consumer effects from the pandemic on, you know, what we pay for day-to-day goods. And again, the risk, you know, when you've got a slowing economy, you could have a deflationary spiral, and that is not good. That is really quite bad, actually, when you're looking at, you know, the prospects for businesses recuperating coming out of this.
I just noticed you say data. I say data. Potato, I guess. Data reminds me of Star Trek. I know. Anyway, I digress.
Yes.
All eyes are watching a vaccine for COVID-19. Of course, we're seeing a little bit of progress, but not getting too excited just yet.
Well, that report by Moderna out of Massachusetts on Monday certainly made headlines. You know, the first phase clinical trials, they said there was success for, you know, antibody development and some sort of a vaccine. And then yesterday, there was more of first phase, you've got to go through 3 phases of clinical trials before you really get excited. And the naysayers or critics were saying you need a lot more data. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Nevertheless, it was positive. But at the same time, whenever we see these headlines, which moved the market dramatically Monday, remember the Dow was up 900 points. Yesterday was back down over 300. So again, this all filters into how things work from a market standpoint, and not just, you know, trying to figure out the solution to COVID-19.
Let's talk about the retail sector. Remember when Meghan Markle was one of the spokespeople for Reitmans? Yes, it's Reitmans.
Not.
Yes, she had her own line.
Okay, so here we go. Data. Reitmans.
I say Reitmans.
I called the company yesterday. It's Reitmans. Ivan Reitman.
Yes, it's Reitmans.
He's not involved with it, but I'm just saying. It's based out of Montreal, but in Ontario, we call it Reitmans.
Huh. Okay.
It's the weirdest thing. Anyway.
We could go on forever, Mike.
There was a big newsroom debate about this, I'm telling you. nevertheless, the news is not good.
Yes,
let's not underplay this because, this is a company that has been around for 90 plus years and in creditor protection. So a lot of those 576 locations are going to go by the wayside. They say they've got, they're going to work through this and come out the other end of the pandemic and, have a better financial footing if, they get the financial backing to do so. But, Pier 1, they're gone. They could not find a buyer. That was their plan when they filed for Chapter 11 last fall, and Pier 1's going away. So, the dramatic shift that this is going to have for storefront and shopping mall operators, all this stuff. I mean, it's not.
It's sad to see.
Unfortunately, it's sort of just maybe the cusp. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but nevertheless, when you've got those two big name brands,
not encouraging, not at all,
no,
Mike.
It's not.
All right, well, you take a look at your data, and I'll take a look at Reitmans, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. 6:46. Steph, what do you?